St. Elizabeth Fine Art Program, it focuses on Art 1 is the basic class and it's traditional art class. So we are in the art studio or the art room for most of the time and we are using our hands to create art. We're either using pencil, which is like normal pencil, graphite. We're also using maybe possibly ink. So that's pens or like calligraphy ink. And then also this year, I'm starting to do spray paint as well as some screen printing. So students will learn how to create images on t-shirts, on sweatshirts, and on things like tote bags or wearable art. For digital art, we spend most of our time, a significant amount of our time outside taking pictures in the real world or in the mill doing photographs behind a green screen. And then we use Photoshop and digital art for the most part to edit our photos and to create commercially viable work. For instance, we did movie posters. We also do food advertisements and anything that could be created on a digital platform.
So I think the thing I enjoy most about digital art is I'm not very good at physical art or drawing or painting. I'm really bad at that. But digital art gave me a chance to kind of dip into more digitalized art, which is for me a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable. So the most important projects that I did were actually two things related to like film. So I did like a movie poster. I like that because I was able to edit one of my friends on to Marlon Brando from the Godfather poster. It's one of my favorite movies. So that was really fun. I made a little satire too out of that. So yeah, those are the two projects I probably enjoyed the most. Because they weren't really drawing or anything like that because I'm not good at that. But the film aspect of it, that digital art is definitely enjoyable.
Fine art, like I said, we're going to be in the art room for the most part, and we're going to be using materials like paint, acrylic paint, or things like oil paint, which is what you see here. I'm also introducing spray paint this year, or we're going to be using pencil, crayon, ink, and screen printing, things like this apparatus here where they actually create designs on the screen and then use colored ink to paint them onto paper or sweatshirts materials, stuff like that. So one of the projects that we create in our Art 1 class is the portraits in the style of Chuck Close. So Chuck Close was an artist who took photographs, like 5x7 photographs, very small photographs, and he created them in an enlargement, and he used the grid method. So basically, students they'll draw a grid over their paper, and they'll enlarge the image from a 5x7 photograph to a larger size, like the one we see here, which is 8.5 by 11. And we've also actually done some even bigger than this. So, like I said, this was one of the projects that we did during virtual when we first went into virtual last year. So students were at home completely all of the time. They didn't have anything sophisticated to create their artwork. So this is just pencil and paper. And a student sort of just created this from start to finish. They really dug in and put their all into it. And like I said, this is somebody who did not do art before all the time, or it wasn't a significant thing in their life. And they just said, I'm going to do this. And this is what it came out. So I actually would like to submit this for the Scholastics, which is another way that we celebrate art here at St. Elizabeth by putting our student work into competitions so that they can be looked at professionally.
So what I enjoy about art class is like the calm atmosphere and just drawing and learning new techniques. And one of our assignments, this was the final product, but we were learning how to draw with a grid and just kind of taking this step by step. And then eventually we turned that sketch into the final drawing. And so I'm going to actually submit that to the Scholastic Fair. I like to paint. Just the paintbrush on canvas just is kind of satisfying, which is a little weird, but I also like sketching with like graphite, and just kind of that one-on-one with the paper is nice too.
So this project that you see behind me is a project that I do every year during Black History Month, and it is a collage about African American history in the United States. And the students who created these projects, they did it right before all of the social justice stuff started happening in the United States. And it was just really wonderful for me to see and personal for me to see that my students had a voice about this long before all the social justice and the unrest and things that were happening in the country started happening. These students created these pieces long before that. So we definitely strive for diversity and inclusion here at St. Elizabeth. And you can see it in our students' work, how passionate they are about, diversity, inclusion, and social justice.
I recommend taking art because it's just a nice break from like your math and science, and it just lets you to explore, and it lets you try new things and just see if you're into art, like see if you like sketching, like putting your ideas down on paper or paint or anything like that. So I definitely recommend taking it, and just like intro to art, especially my freshman year, I took that, and it just opened up a whole new world to me. So it was really great.
So art is important because it gives students an outlet to be creative. So I've had students who were seniors who had never taken an art class before, and they were generally going to go in something in their career like pre-med or law school. So this gave them an opportunity to have a creative outlet, to see a project from start to finish, and to give effort. So it's not about how well you paint or draw, but mostly it's about how much effort you put in. And so a lot of my athletes, my student athletes, have been some of my best artists because they don't normally have an opportunity to be creative in the classroom.
When I was first going into digital art, I really wasn't excited about it just because I'm not an art person, but it's definitely, you should definitely give art a chance. It's definitely worth taking. It's just a good space to kind of have fun, get creative with it. Even if you're not really good at it, it's still just a good place to kind of get your creative juices flowing.